Hey, it's Ben with Case by Case Training, and today I just want to talk about something that really isn't that complex. It's rather a simple issue, but often overlooked. And I think if I were to even do a poll and just ask people that even work out and are consistently exercising and dieting, if I were to ask them, are you doing these simple things? Probably a majority, or at least a good portion, would say no. I don't really stay on top of those things. So simple yet often overlooked, and most trainers, at least I hope, are implementing these things with their clients, and it is really what separates a big part of what separates having a trainer from just being on your own. Because while these things are simple, they are things that take accountability, and a trainer is going to be a little more familiar. So anyways, I'll get to what they are, because at this point you have no clue what I'm talking about. So when exercising or implementing a diet, whatever it is, oftentimes there's two possible ways to really, there's a lot of ways to get it wrong, but I think there's two sides of the spectrum that most people kind of will fall into. And one is that you really just try to do too much off the bat, and so you really need to be easing into your diet or your exercise plan more. Even if you're experienced in what you're doing, if you're changing, if I'm on a muscle gain program and then I switch into a strength program, even though I've got experience in exercise, if I try to just do a strength program that somebody else was doing prior to me for months, and I try to do the level that they were at right off the bat, I'm setting myself up for failure. Same goes with like a diet. And I think we get this concept with more often cardio type things, like especially I think of like running in particular. If I'm gonna train for a marathon, I know better than to go out and try to run 26.2 miles the first day. That's not going to go very well for me. So we get that concept when it comes to running. I'm going to I might not even run the first day. I might just walk a few miles, and then maybe I'm slowly increasing. Maybe I'm running a half mile, I'm running a mile, and then trying to run that mile a little faster, and slowly increasing the amount of load that we're taking on. And so it's the same thing with exercise and with a diet. Is it needs to be kind of a slow process to get there, or else you're going to burn out, for one, which is what I think happens to a lot of people, or you could even end up hurting yourself, which would be obviously a lot worse. And so that's very important. And if a trainer is a good trainer, they're going to also be able to do that for you and help you naturally increase to where it's not too much for you all up front. Now, the other side of the spectrum is people can oftentimes not be increasing. They can become comfortable. So you might have just a workout plan that, and maybe it was even customized to you, but you enjoy it, and it's exercises that you like to do, and you don't really increase, you don't really push yourself. Going back to the running example, if you're training for a marathon, and maybe you start out slow, you work your way up a little bit, and you get to the 3 mile mark, and that's where you stick, and you're just comfortable running 3 miles, and you do that for months. Come marathon day, you're going to be in trouble. So same thing can happen with our workouts or with our diets, where we can just kind of become comfortable and doing the same exact thing over and over and over, or just not increasing. And I think one area with I think with exercise, we understand that a little more. With your diet, in particular, one area that can become tricky is think about, let's just say 2,000 calories is your the amount you're supposed to be consuming to, let's just say you're trying to lose weight. And if you're eating 2,000 calories, you're in a deficit, and you're going to be burning a pound a week, let's just say, at that calorie intake. Once you've lost 5-10 pounds, the amount of calories you need to be intaking to be at a deficit is going to change. And so if you're not thinking about that, if you're not realizing that, wait a minute, I've now lost weight, so my body composition is different, and I'm going to have a new calorie marker. So you got to refigure out what those need to be. So it might be 1,800 calories at that point, or 1,700 calories. So it's going to change. And if you keep eating the same exact amount, you're not going to get those same results. And that's why a lot of people hit plateaus as well, where they will, see a lot of results up front, and then suddenly it seems to stop, and they don't really understand why. And that can be a big contributor if you're not adjusting the calories along with your weight loss. Hey, you're being kind of loud. Play in your bed. Go play over there. So those are kind of the two sides of what can often happen. And so really the tactic, or just the simple thing that you need to understand that will just make a drastic difference for you is, one, ask yourself, am I doing something that is constantly changing and constantly being updated? Is my workout program, is it fluent? Is it adjusting as I'm growing? Am I doing more reps? Am I changing up the exercises? What exactly is going on there? And then same thing with the diet. Am I adjusting the amount of calories that I'm taking in as I'm seeing results and as I'm seeing improvement? And so those are kind of two big points, and that's what I do as a trainer. That's part of why I can get you results, is because I'm going to be making those adjustments. And so I want to show you how to do the same, and that's really all it is. I've just showed you is you need to make sure that you're making those adjustments as you go, as you see results. So with the diet side, I personally like to kind of get a general understanding of what my body needs, and get familiar. And as you know, and as you learn, and as you do track closely a few times, you'll begin to understand more and learn it, to where you can not have to be quite as strict on the tracking, and you can kind of have a general understanding. But when it comes to the exercises, part of what I think is important with the tracking is it's going to really push you to continue to make those increases. If you don't have a program or a plan that's growing with you, you really are going to see those plateaus. And so hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully these are things that, even if you did know, maybe you can start paying a little closer attention to, making sure, ask yourself, am I doing these things? Am I comfortable? Or am I trying to take on too much all at once? Am I getting some program that somebody else, maybe it was for them? That's why I don't like the cookie cutter diets. They're just too general. And so having something that specifically works for you is important. Making sure that you're making those adjustments as you go, and not taking on too much up front either. Don't try to run the marathon without working your way up to it. Got to do it 1 mile at a time.